News going live in 3, 2.
Said I wonder, the flag above you, is it the same one you think you wonder? I said I wonder, is someone taking over under the golden dome?
All right, what is going on, guys? It's Adam aka Marf, and this is Marfoogle News. We're going to talk about what is some of the claims around not only X going down, but a potential attack on our supply chain. I'll go over where that comes from, and again, there seems to be some things that actually agree with that. So, as far as this goes, though, there was rumors that there was something taken off of X. Now, given the event of today, an event that actually we will be covering over on our next show that happened in D.C., a lot of folks thought, that maybe there was another angle that proved something else that, obviously would incite something. Again, here's the history on this. There have been several kind of big outages. Again, this one was a big outage as far as X goes, but I didn't see a lot of other things, and I'll go over the down detector here in a second. But there was, of course, a massive outage on X. I was actually in a Spaces talking to somebody in a Spaces. I was speaking, and I actually got booted out, and I tried to get back in, and it said that they were updating something. Now, of course, engineering says X is aware some of our users are experiencing performance issues on the platform today. We are experiencing a data center outage, and the team is actively working to remediate the issue. Now, when Elon first took over, I probably would have been more likely to believe this, especially when he cut all of those people out and he was running on 25% of the staff. Again, now there have been a lot of attacks on X, especially when there is something big on X. A lot of DDoS attacks have happened when he did the big president interview. I think it was Trump. They got DDoS attacked into oblivion, right? So with this one, they're saying, there's some experiencing a data center outage. Is this kind of like a slight anomaly in SpaceX where, the slight anomaly was it being blown to bits? I don't know. But one thing that I was not ready for, and I was kind of caught off guard, is the talk about that this might be some sort of bigger attack by Russia. Now, everything should be just assumed as propaganda and question everything. And I was just talking about that in the Spaces today. It's like, honestly, everybody is really, really heated about certain events, certain countries, certain Middle Eastern countries. But I guess my point was, like, until we fix the media, the fixed fact checkers and everything else, like, you can talk about these kind of things all you want, but when you actually get to solutions, you're essentially controlled and stopped. Now, when it comes to X, pretty much a lot of things have flown that normally doesn't. But one thing that doesn't fly there is negative talk about a certain country. That's what I have noticed. In fact, in that Spaces, they were talking about all the spaces that do get taken down. And those are spaces that are regarding anything negative about a certain country. And let's just say it's not China, it's not the US, it's not Russia. So again, with that being said, Roz Alerts, somebody said his name was Puppy Peter. I think that's what his name is. Twitter X is currently facing a major cyber attack causing widespread outages and service disruptions for a large number of users across the platform. Again, it then got community noted, and X actually X says the problem was caused by a data center outage. There are no reports of a cyber attack. Now, again, with this, it was a massive, massive spike. I'll show you the down detector. It was, I believe it was at a 12:30 or something like that when everything that I was working on and everything I had on my screen just basically dipped out. Why this matters is, here's the thing. In history, we have seen all of YouTube go down. And we're talking about not like YouTube regional, not YouTube US, YouTube this. It was a massive, like, worldwide outage. And in that case, many people said that there was actually a live stream of a gentleman that was talking about the moon. And apparently this gentleman was talking about how the moon was going to get struck by an asteroid, and he was sweaty and super nervous. And he was basically saying that I shouldn't tell this and all of this. I didn't see the video. Again, a lot of people did. If you go back, you can actually look at all of the people that did videos on it, Drama Alert, all these people, because this supposed video talked about something so drastic. And essentially, for the people that say they saw it, they basically said that this guy blew the whistle and said that the world was going to be in threat. that it's not an asteroid hitting the Earth that they're worried about. It's an asteroid hitting the moon. If you don't believe me, go back and look. It is absolutely crazy. Look at, I think it's YouTube down and then asteroid hitting the moon, things like that. What people do, though, is they take advantage of events like that. So there really was that buzz within 1 minute of the platform coming back on. It was like 35 minutes or something when it came back on. Again, many people said that the video was flushed, that everybody that was sharing it, it was just completely canceled. It was deleted, and they took it off. Now, not a lot of people questioned if that was even possible or if they would do that. Well, then just not too much longer after that, you had the New Zealand event. If you guys remember that, it was a horde event. Everybody was sharing a very, very horrible video of it. And essentially what they did is they actually changed the parameters of uploading, and they tried to remove it off of people's things. They basically went through and they tried to clear the whole thing. They tried to, anybody who was sharing that video not only possibly got in trouble, but had somebody try to grab it. Got police involved in some cases, people that had that video. Again, that was crazy. But that showed that if there was something so crazy they didn't want people to have, that they would possibly shut it down, which they did temporarily shut down for that. The other one, we don't know. But there's been other of these huge platform dips, and some people even think that it's practice for a major outage, like practice for everything going down, and that these companies do this to basically practice for getting it back up and running again. Does Elon Musk think he's going to be attacked? Now, I'll go to the part where, again, this is just, as far as right now, this is, again, very fresh stuff. I don't know if this is going to be verified. So, again, just take all of this with a huge cup of salt. Again, it's Russia and not only X. Russian GRU Unit 26165, a.k.a., get this, Fancy Bear, has engaged in a cyber campaign against Western logistics providers and technology companies, targeting entities across all transportation modes, air, sea, and rail. So again, this was ic3.gov. So again, when you actually go in further about this, again, Mario, this guy breaks it down and says, connect the dots, Russia's GRU Fancy Bear, again, is cyber attacking U.S. supply chains, air, sea, and rail. FBI, NSA, Cyber Command all confirm it. And again, I'm not going to confirm this. And what does GIA do? Pete Hegseth, Trump's DOD secretary, ordered a pause in U.S. cyber ops against Russia. A literal Russian cyber attacks, and they block defense of it. Elon's X is glitching, apps are stalling, feels like DDoS test run. Coincidence? No. Now, this is just the opinion of one, but again, when you actually go and look down, you end up seeing some of the other posts, and a lot of folks were actually kind of agreeing with this. Now, Grok even talks about the Russian cyber attacks on U.S. supply chains. It goes into it. Again, there's a link to every one of the tweets, every single article document that we have here today. But we do know that it was verified. Again, the mainstream did cover this outage. Now, I do want to remind you guys, with all the crazy outages, with all the crazy stuff going on, with us formally weaponizing space with the Golden Dome, I highly recommend that you guys go check out marfooglenews.com/EMP. Again, if you haven't, it is a very, very awesome device that will end up protecting you against not only an EMP strike, but also a Carrington-level event from the sun. They ended up doing a Liberty sale for our contest. The contest is over, but that Liberty sale was just for the Foogle fam, and that was, again, on top of $50 off per device. It was, again, their little thing here, their bracket. So 1 EMP, 20 off. That means 50 plus 20. 2 EMPs, that's 100, 50 and 50 plus 60. 3, 120 plus, again, 150. And then 200, if you get 4, you would get $400 off. So, and that is not only us now. Basically, that had so many people love that they ended up opening it up to the public after they did it privately for our contest. So that's the reason it got extended. They actually brought that out to the public. So while it is out to the public, I would highly take advantage of that, because this is a device that will save your life. It will get you home to your family or get you to bug out. It is our recommendation. And again, it works on generators, gas generators. They have a device for pretty much anything. So if you want it to keep running through any kind of event, whether it be an EMP strike, a local EMP, or again, a Carrington level event, then get one of those on it. It takes 10 minutes to put in your car. All right, that's marfooglenews.com/EMP. Make sure to use the code MARF. Now let's bring in my co-host/internet brother, Dex James. What is going on and how are you doing today?
Well, hello, Adam, and hello, Fugle fam. I'm doing just fine.
Now, I know you're going to be setting up the next show here in 2 seconds, because in the next show, we're going to talk about, again, now they're saying that they're going to hold the U.S. responsible, and that essentially we're talking about nuclear attacks, or again, attacks on nuclear facilities, and a whole lot more. So now things have really spun out of control. We have at least 6 different breaking stories that will show you that it is most definitely the week of escalation. So we'll show you that here in a minute. But Dex, what you probably weren't on X like at the time, but I was actually on there and got booted off.
Yeah, I missed it.
What do you think about the weird claims that this might even be part of a bigger hack attack?
I mean, the biggest idea around that is if the whole system is down, if it's down across the globe, and I think that's what you're gonna have to look for is see how big the outage was versus it just being regional. I don't know. We don't know yet what the results were from that. But obviously, if they're trying to hide something, taking it down in larger areres to do that would make more sense if they were in a hurry to cover up.
Yep, like they did YouTube.
Yeah, and it also goes against, what a lot of people think Elon's about, that he wouldn't do something like that. So, but, you never know, because we've also, for as much as everybody says it's free speech there's certainly plenty of things that aren't.
Yeah, there are certain subjects that you cannot talk about. I was in the spaces. Of course, there are people calling each other names and things like that. That doesn't trigger it. But when you talk about certain things, and that's just what I'm hearing, especially from Maze Love, is somebody who hosts a ton of spaces over there. She's very, very awesome. She always whatever. Some of them have been gigantic spaces. She sees my name and she always gets me in to speak. So again, Maze Love, you are absolutely awesome. But again, Maze Love runs tons of these spaces, and she said that essentially there's a couple people that always come in. They have 50 different accounts. They'll come in and they'll talk about a certain subject, and it gets bounced off of spaces. So I don't know what those subjects are. But pretty sure it's talking badly about basically a certain country that is kind of in the middle of it with Iran right now. So again, I don't know how true that is, but I do believe Maze. My personal opinion is I believe she's probably right. Not to mention some places are actually making laws against saying negative things about them. So with that being said, there's a lot of crazy stuff going down, a lot of escalation. Join us over on our next show. Hopefully this this outage is just that. But again, we always point this out because when these things happen, everybody's always worried about this being some sort of test run. And that's something that we should be ready for. The W and the E and the F, Mr. Klaus said that we were most likely going to have a cyber event that made CV 2019, make that look like it was weak, right? So that still hasn't happened. They said it'll be likely in the next 2 years. And it's been over 2 years. So do we know if that's going to happen? No. But it is 2025, one of the most predicted years to be one of the most predicted chaotic years. And again, by 2027, almost every single official has said that we're going to be in a war with China. And it just so happens in the last 3 years, essentially every other country on our adversary list has also lined up their neighbor of choice that they want to take once everybody pops off the initial shot. So again, join us over there. And again, it is all of our adversaries are essentially rounding up and signing treaties. So join us over there. Again, Dex and I will be right over on Marfoogle TV. Join us for this next show. All you have to do is go down to the description. And again, a full bibliography is available over on marfooglenews.com down in the description. All right, you guys, be safe, be prepared, and Marf out.
The flag above you, is it the same one you think you wonder? I said I wonder. The flag above you, is it the